Welcome back. In studio today we're going to be hosting Mr. Buddha Blaze of Wapi. He's going to be talking about the African culture, arts, the music business, and also the link between the young and the old generation. Let's catch him up in the studio. Bless.
What's happening? My name is Buddha Blaze. I work in the cultural space, curator, promoter, connector, an all-round entrepreneur, and just one of these guys that's putting things together in the cultural space in Africa. I've done everything from booking to doing shows to I don't know, booking airlines to what else can, except playing the instruments, but I've done everything else behind the scene, I've held a camera just like that. I've booked the artists, I've put them on stage, I've booked the stages, built the stages, created concept that become global, heavily involved in WAPI, W-A-P-I, which is Words and Pictures, Coke Studio, Fat Magazine, just basically creating an uprising in the Kenyan music scene and just giving it the wings that it needed to fly. African culture to me is pretty wide. I mean, Africa is a big continent, Africa is a wide continent. So when it comes to culture, there's so many cultures, so many subcultures, ranging from religion to traditional culture to present culture, pre-colonial culture, post-colonial culture, and futuristic culture. So we all in this space called Africa. So everybody that's doing culture in this space is doing African culture. Music and art is the only way that people can really reflect on themselves, If you look at Africa, there's so much politics going on, economic talk, but it's really when people start talking culture that they really find themselves and try to define themselves. If you look now, what's really been big is the Afrobeat. Afrobeat makes Africans look at each other, look within themselves. What is it that they're missing? What is it that they're going through? So it's a very, very important space as far as development of a nation. You can't move forward unless you know your past. So you have to connect the two. The backstory of a country and the future of a country have to be connected. We really need to strengthen our diasporans, the link between Africa and the diaspora. The diaspora is massive, and all these people are in touch with the resources, they're in touch with the education and being out there in the light. What we need to be able to do here in Africa is connect the continents so that the culture that's coming out of Africa today can be sold directly to the diaspora immediately and connect those two people together so that it becomes one. Some people have left in the last 10 years, some people left 20 years ago. But when they hear something from home, they embrace it. So it's really good that we find ways that we can connect the dots. And that's what's really missing. These cultures need to merge. The old people need to look at the young people as the future carriers of this culture. And if they don't embrace them and then, call them or at least try to create situations where they can collaborate, instead of just looking at them as lost sheep and saying, they're too old, they're lost. Embrace them, call them back, give them opportunities of power so that they can see, listen, our old people haven't left us. So sometimes young people feel like, the old people don't embrace them or they don't feel like they understand them enough. But I think, just like in South Africa, Hugh Masekela reached out to Kwaito and started doing music with Thandiso Mazwai. We need to do that here. We need to get the older artists doing music. There's no other choice about it. It has to be together. Otherwise, there's missing links, there's missing parts, and you can never really become a true African musician if you're not bringing your roots and bringing your instruments and all that stuff out there. And I'm not saying just go out there and be a traditional artist. Link them together, bring the electronic, link it. The Jamaicans have done it, where, Bob Marley has brought Bobo Shanti music and reggae to the forefront, to a level where it's being compared to rock music. We can do it from Africa. African heritage and what you guys have done. I mean, I had a young man fly all the way from Amsterdam to come out here looking for a banana drum. And we looked around, it could only be found in Kenya. But we looked around at every shop in the city that was selling these modern instruments, but nobody had a banana drum. So I think it's about time that we started moving towards that and preserving all those instruments that our forefathers were using. The string instruments, the drums, the percussions, the bells, all that stuff is really important in our music. I mean, you hear it in other people's music. You'll hear Janet Jackson using that, Beyonce embracing that, but then our own people just want to go for electronic. I think it's about time that we take time and look into our traditional instrument. It really just takes that one person to say, cool, I'm opening a center, and we're going to be collecting all the instruments that your grandfather had, bring them over here, we'll preserve them, we'll put them in a box, we'll make them look good, and also teach young people how to play them. I think it's about time. If young people can learn how to play the traditional instruments, I think we have a good future.